Christy and I have been so excited about this attachment. We couldn't wait for the mowing season because of this. Yeah, check it out. For once, I might be willing to do the weed eating. We're going to tell you all about this thing. And no, it's not the new zero turn we have. It's this weed whipper. Let's get started. That's right, it's a trimmer attached to your lawnmower. Now you have to remember that I have almost no experience on a zero turn. So just driving the machine is difficult for me. It's hard to get all the way into the corner there. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit and see really what we've got here. This is called a Z Trimmer. Z Trimmer. Now, it's got this handle here. First of all, it won't run when it's up, but it's got this handle here that you can reach from the seat and fold it down and pull it back up. Now, we've got a 72-inch zero turn here. We'll tell you a lot more about our new Dixie chopper in a later episode, but that's not the focus here. I think if you had a 60-inch zero turn, you'd have a better chance of reaching this more easily. I mean, you can reach it from mine, I can reach it. I'm afraid Christy may have a little bit of a long reach here. That's the first thing. And yes, I said something negative before I even got started, which is kind of sad because I love this thing. This is electrical powered. There's an electric motor right here. You can see where I've run the power here. I ran the cord directly to the battery. It is fused in here. Okay, so I didn't have to do the fusing. It's handled behind the scenes for me. When you fold it down, it locks in. Well, it doesn't really lock in, but it trips a trigger so that the machine can be run. Now, I told you it was direct to the battery, so we can run it right here. Okay? Wouldn't want to run it forever. I won't be able to start the mower, right? Now, it's pretty flexible here. It's spring loaded both ways. So if you hit something when you're going really slow with it, which if you're a bad ZTR driver like I am, you're gonna, then it's gonna be able to handle it. Having said that, I don't recommend leaving this thing down while you're mowing full speed. In fact, they said anything over 2 miles an hour and you're likely to break it off or at least bend it. And I get that. It's attached to the deck with 4 bolts. Actually, I think you can do up to 6. I drilled the holes myself. I think they're 1/4-inch holes. Drilled them right through the deck and put these bolts in. The bolts are all supplied. Everything was supplied with it. Very professionally done. It requires 15 amp charging circuit on the mower. This one has 20. Now the string is different from a string trimmer that you might use normally, because typically you have that bump thing to allow the more string to come out. Boy, that's a highly technical term, right? This one is you insert the string through these two holes up here, and then you just pull them out evenly, and that's your string. This is the first string I've used. It's frayed a little bit. It comes with a bunch of them. So they suggested that you could either buy the string from them, the replacement string, or you could just buy a roll of string, suitable string yourself, and cut it to the appropriate lengths. Let me see if I can pull this one out and restring it to show you how that's done. I'm going to turn it around towards you a little bit here, and you'll see that there's two holes right here, side by side, and it will self-feed out to the end. So this really is a trivial process. And then just pull it right here, and you're good to go. Hard to get any easier than that. I think probably what I'll do is just carry replacement strings along with me. That way if why am I saying me?
Yeah.
This is Christy's job.
Usually.
This is about the only way I ever want to do weed eating. Come on over here, Christy, and tell me about how you found this thing.
So I have wanted a weed eater on a tractor for years.
Of course.
And I thought we would find one that would go on the front end loader for Johnny, but we were at the National Farm Machinery Show, and I was just walking the aisles and walked by the Peco booth, and this was on one of their zero turns. I stopped in my tracks, and I'm like, that's what I want.
Yeah, and then we brought it home, and neighbor Chris said, well, I thought of that years ago. And I said, yeah, but it didn't do any good. You didn't make one.
Right, he didn't manufacture it, so.
You can get this at lawnvac.com/TTWT, and then use code TTWT, and you can get a discount. I think it's 10%. I'm not sure.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I'm not exactly sure what the discount is, but so far, we're pretty impressed with it.
My only issue now is I'm gonna have to learn how to drive the ZTR.
Yeah, we have talked a little bit about trying to put this on one of Johnny's mowers to see how that's gonna work. We may need a little modification to the handle. I don't think it's gonna be long enough given the seating position.
The only thing I see for me is I may have trouble reaching it from the seat.
Yeah,
but
I think that may be a little bit of a challenge.
I can always
You can always get up out of the seat,
yeah.
Put it down, turn it on. It has a duty cycle of 20 minutes per every hour. They don't want you to run it consistently for a whole hour. So you can run it for up to 20 minutes, and then you need to stop for a while. I think the best way to handle that, Christy, is just trim as you go, right? I mean, you've got a building or something to work around. You're going to put it down. You're going to trim that area.
Sure.
And then you'll put it back up and mow for a while.
That makes more sense than trying to trim for a long time anyway.
Yeah.
How much does it cost? I forget.
With inflation, it's hard to tell. But
yeah.
Time you get the TTWT discount, I think it's slightly over $400. So it's not, it's not incredibly inexpensive, but
a good weed eater is going to cost you quite a bit.
Yeah, and you have to walk with it.
Yes.
You want to try this thing?
I do, yes.
Christy, let's see if you can change the strings. First, show us the strings.
We have a whole container of new strings.
Yeah.
So, Vortex.
So see if you can change one.
There's the old one.
That was easy enough. Now that one still has some life in it, but we're changing it just for the fun of it.
I think the hardest part's going to be getting the tape off the container.
Should have done that off camera, shouldn't I?
Yeah. You didn't prep things for me behind the scenes.
I didn't make it easy. I didn't make it all professional looking and
Man,
marketing.
there's a whole bunch of them in there. The way it came out, I'm assuming it goes right back in here. And then once I get it out, I can just pull it. Man, that's easier than most weed eaters I've ever tried to restring. I like it.
Yeah. Now, of course, you'll have to do it more frequently than a weed eater too, but that's easy.
Right.
And really, for as much as we've done, pick up that old string And for as much as we've done, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little frayed at the end, but it's not bad. It would probably be fine to carry on.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll probably keep it.
Yeah, we'll just put it right there. Yeah, we don't want to waste anything, do we?
No, exactly.
And if I were you, I think I would put that package right there in the toolbox there, or whatever, in that open spot where your phone is.
Or my phone is, yeah. Because I need a phone carrier.
Okay, Christy, here's your next challenge. See this mess?
You mean the cat?
Well, yeah. And actually, that part up there, you may have to kind of leave. The trash truck has made big ruts in there.
Yep.
I've got to do some work on that.
Yep.
But you can start right at the edge of those ruts, you know, right up here beyond it. See if you can trim down that heavy grass.
Okay.
What do you think, Bullseye? I think you're going to run. I suppose there's no reason why someone couldn't mow and trim at the same time, but for me, with my experience level, it's too much for me to concentrate on.
Don't want to hurt your PTO shaft.
Yeah, you're going to tear that thing up with that little trimmer. Well, it's a weed whipping machine. Wow, she's getting most of that under there.
I'm not sure how to get right in a corner.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm not sure we can. I think you could get a little closer by getting that back wheel in, but that's going to take some practice. It's amazing you can get all the way under there, though. And again, we're just so inexperienced with it. I apologize for our for our jerkiness with it and inexperience. That's not meant to be anything about the attachment. That's just us. She's getting braver with it all the time. Won't take but a few minutes here. I think it's perfect for edges like that right there. Oh, it's working well there. That's hard for us to get without a weed eater. I've tried to get a tractor up there, and given, you know, it's uphill a little bit, it doesn't work very well. What do you think?
I am thoroughly impressed with the way it was able to go in and out of these landscape bricks here. And this is up at an angle.
And it sort of floated up there.
And the string is not very worn. I mean,
yeah, that was pretty rough on it.
That was rough. I was running it in rock and up against landscape bricks. And
so what's it not good at?
Corners.
Yeah, inside corners are hard, and when you get a certain level of under things, in other words, there's a certain level of complexity
Right.
that you're still going to have to use a hand weed eater.
But a lot less.
When you get to straight along sides, like when we're going around maybe a tree or right up next to a building or your power box or things like that, that you don't have to carry your weed eater, and we'll be able to go around those big rocks down there at the end. You won't have to lug a weed eater around. We've been kind of belaboring it here, kind of showing it over and over in different scenarios, but when we go to use this thing day by day,
well, we'll get a lot better at it, a lot quicker at it. As we learn how to drive a zero turn, we'll get better at it.
yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a keeper.
I'm not letting it go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Even though I gave up weed eating years ago for Lent.
You did not for Lent. You just gave it up because I did it all the time.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it, so Christy did it. So, yeah.
Truth.
And both of us have basically resorted to Roundup as our weed eater.
Although I do like the steel battery-powered weed eater.
So we'll still use that for some jobs, but I shouldn't say that.
We'll still use the steel.
She will still use the steel in some cases, but I think this will take like a bunch of the far out stuff where you have to walk a long way just to get there to trim.
Right, exactly.
I think this is going to be your ticket.
I like it.
Now, one thing that we did was I actually held it here, and I had tried this before. That's why when I could reach it, I would actually hold it up to trim something above ground level a little bit.
Oh.
Okay, so that was a trick that I was able to use.
And you told me earlier it's also height adjustable. So sometimes I felt like I wanted it lower to the ground, but you can make it lower, right?
Yeah, it's got I don't know, it's got 10 or 12 holes here of different heights.
Lots of settings in.
And I think I've got 2 or 3 more that we could go down. We could also set the mower deck up and down, right, to adjust the height a little bit.
Okay.
I tried to set it where I thought would be a good working height without adjusting the mower deck, right?
Right.
But we'll learn that over time.
What's it called again?
It's called a Z Trimmer.
A Z Trimmer. I won't remember that.
Not a Z Trimmer, it's called Z Trimmer.
Z Trimmer.
Lawnvac.com/TTWT.
Can I just call it the weed eater for the mower?
You can, but that doesn't have a very good marketing, sound to it. It doesn't really come with it. Z Trimmer.
Right. Z Trimmer. I might remember that.
Doesn't matter whether you remember it or not, it does a good job of trimming.
True. It's cold.
And it's supposed to be mowing season. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. In His great mercy, He has given us new birth into a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead.